in the darkness of the earth. The pounding heartbeat echoed like a war drum in his ears. Lucas felt his chest about to burst. Breath came rapid, panting, as if the air around had been sucked away. A sudden cold stream touched his ankle. Then it quickly rose, flooding past his knees. In the thick darkness, he felt as if his whole body was sinking into a damp grave. The flashlight in his hand trembled violently, its beam flickering and then cutting out. Everything became absolute black. Lucas tried to switch it back on, but the switch only made a hopeless clicking sound. In the deep cave, light was life, and now he had lost that one thing. No, I'm not ready yet. Lucas panted, his voice trembling as it rang through the cramped void. He tried to wriggle upward, his hands clawing at the cold, damp rock, his nails breaking and bleeding. But the narrow crevice held him tight, like an enormous invisible hand, refusing to let go. The water kept rising, cold, heavy, wrapping around his body. Lucas screamed, the cry reverberating through the cavern before sinking into deadly silence. Someone, please help me. I don't want to die here. His voice hiccuped, breaking like a child's plea. The water reached his chest, then his neck. His breathing grew more frantic, his lungs burning raw as if on fire. He tried to lift his head, his mouth opening to find any remaining air. His heart raced, then slowed. In that moment, Lucas felt something strange. It was no longer frantic panic, but a peculiar emptiness. The sound of water, the heartbeat, the breathing, all suddenly vanished. Only absolute stillness remained. A faint light glimmered from afar, not a flashlight, nor any beam passing through the rock. It was gentle, hazy, as if calling his name. Lucas felt weightless, as if his body was drifting away somewhere, while he, his consciousness, hovered, detached. He saw himself, trapped beneath the murky water, eyes wide, hands flailing hopelessly. What is happening to me? Is this death? His voice sounded, but it did not come from his mouth. It echoed directly in his mind. In that instant, everything stopped. Between darkness and light, between life and death, Lucas hung suspended. The question remained, would he step into that light? Or was it only the final illusion before the darkness swallowed him forever? The man in the dark. Before the darkness swallowed him beneath the earth, Lucas was just an ordinary man. Or at least, he always convinced himself so. Lucas was 35, his body strong from years of rugged expeditions. Sun-tanned skin, a chiseled face marked with small lines at the corners of his eyes. But those eyes, deep, dark brown, always burned with an unquenchable fire, the desire to reach places no one had ever set foot in. He lived in a small apartment on the outskirts of the city. The cramped room was scattered with books, maps, compasses, ropes, and climbing gear. On the walls hung countless photos taken inside caves, shimmering stalactites, pitch-black rock crevices. That was Lucas's own world, a world he always thought of as home. One morning, as the first rays of sunlight slipped through the window, Lucas carefully packed a flashlight, spare batteries, and a safety rope into his backpack. On the table sat a cup of coffee gone cold. He was used to that bitter taste, like the loneliness seeping into each day of his life. The phone vibrated. It was a message from Mark, an old colleague. "Lucas, do you really want to go into that cave? It's raining. The cave system hasn't been properly surveyed. It's dangerous." Lucas gave a faint smile and typed a short reply. "If I don't go, who will write its story?" He knew Mark was worried. Everyone was. But in Lucas's heart, fear had never been greater than the hunger to explore. That afternoon, he visited his elderly mother at the nursing home. She looked at him with eyes filled with both love and reproach. "Lucas, my son, all these years you've kept running into the darkness. I'm afraid one day the darkness will swallow you whole." Lucas sat down by her bed, holding her frail hand. He smiled, but the smile trembled. "I have to go, Mom. I feel like something is calling me, a voice. I can't ignore it." Night fell as Lucas drove his old off-road vehicle toward the distant mountains. The rain drizzled, drops splattering across the windshield. On the radio, a soft melody played, but it couldn't drown out the heavy silence inside the car. He thought of the old friends who had once accompanied him on expeditions. Some had given up, some had been left somewhere beneath the earth. Lucas muttered, as if speaking to himself, "If death is the price to uncover the truth, then perhaps I'll accept it." The headlights swept across the rain-soaked road signs. The path to the cave system was waiting. He gripped the wheel tightly, his heart pounding. In his eyes, there was both fear and a strange excitement. He had no idea this journey would be unlike any before. This was not just a cave exploration. This was a confrontation with the fragile boundary between life and death. When the darkness devoured. The cave opened like a gigantic mouth, pitch black and icy cold. Lucas stood at the cave entrance, rainwater running in small streams down the rock face, falling to the ground into cold puddles. He tightened the safety rope around his waist, adjusted the flashlight on his helmet, and stepped in. The sound of footsteps echoing inside the cave sounded like echoes from another world. Every small noise reverberated many times, forming a gloomy symphony of darkness. The flashlight shone directly on glittering stalactites, reflecting a dim light like suspended glass blades. Lucas muttered, "Beautiful, but so cold." Like a church of death, he moved deeper, passing through a narrow crevice. Cold rock pressed against both shoulders, water dripping above, soaking his collar. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew through, despite being deep underground, making him shiver. The old map he carried offered little help. Passageways branched continuously like a maze. He kept going one step at a time. His hand skimmed the rock's surface, rough, damp. The further he went, the louder the trickle of water became, signaling an underground stream somewhere. Suddenly, crash! A loud blast like thunder rolled. The ground trembled. A massive boulder fell from the ceiling, sealing the path behind him. A cloud of dust filled the space, making him cough violently. Lucas shouted, "No! Impossible!" He ran back, pushed with all his strength at the boulder, but it wouldn't budge. The exit was blocked. Fear began to creep in, colder than the water in the cave. He turned on his radio to call out. Only a hopeless static hiss answered. No one heard. No one knew he was here. He turned forward, deciding to go deeper, hoping to find another way out. But the farther he went, the narrower and damper the cave became. And then, water surged in from somewhere, small streams quickly transforming into a raging flood. Lucas tried to squeeze through a narrow rock gap, but the water rose swiftly, cutting cold to the bone. The flashlight flickered. The light dimmed. He thrashed, hands gripping the slippery rock face. Breathing grew more frantic, lungs burning as if from lack of oxygen. "No, I don't want to die. Not like this." His voice shattered, choked in the dark. Water rose to his chest, then to his neck. He tried to lift his head. His chin touched the rock ceiling. Everything around went dark, suffocating. His heart pounded, then slowed. In that moment, Lucas felt something strange. His body seemed to lose weight. His hands stopped struggling. His breath ceased, but another part of him, lighter, brighter, separated. He opened his eyes, but was no longer in his old body. He saw himself trapped, mouth agape in despair, eyes wide. Water covered that face. Lucas whispered unconsciously, "Is that me?" No more sound of flowing water, no more heartbeat. Only an eerily silent space remained. Then from afar, a light appeared. Not a strong light, but a gentle, warm halo, as if inviting. It opened into a glowing tunnel, curving through the darkness. Millions of shimmering dust particles swirled around, spiraling into a brilliant vortex. Lucas looked down at his body one last time. A single tear, whether from flesh or soul he did not know, fell. He whispered, "If this is the end, then let me know the truth." He stepped toward the light. His body was as light as smoke, each step carrying him into an unexpected journey. Journey in the light. Lucas walked, but his feet no longer touched the ground. Each step drifted through space, weightless as if gliding on water. The path before him stretched endlessly, shining like a swirling galaxy. Millions of tiny light particles flew around, clinging to his soul, making his transparent body emit a faint, shimmering light. No more cold, no more darkness, only warmth, gentle, like a mother's arms embracing her child. Lucas whispered, eyes wide open. Where is this? Have I really died? In the distance, a figure appeared. At first, only a halo of light, then gradually clearer. A familiar face, salt and pepper hair, kind eyes. Lucas froze, his voice choked. Father? Is that impossible? Father died years ago. The man, Lucas's father, smiled, saying nothing, only opening his arms. In an instant, all memories flooded back. His father's laughter, the rough hands guiding Lucas on camping trips, the admonitions he had never fully heard. Lucas screamed, his sobs wrenching. I miss you. I'm sorry. I let you go without ever saying thank you. His father placed a hand on his shoulder, eyes full of gentleness. My son, I never left you. With every step in the dark, I was by your side. Lucas broke down crying. His soul trembled as if it would dissolve into pieces. Behind, another light flashed. Not just one person, but many figures. A few faces he had known, some expedition friends who had perished on previous trips. There was even a close friend, David, who had been trapped and lost in a cave years ago. David smiled. Lucas, you finally came. You always thought you were strong, but you forgot one thing. We never explore alone. We belong to each other. We belong to life. Lucas collapsed, hands trembling as he clutched at the void. But I abandoned everything. I left my old mother alone, let friends drift away. I chased the darkness like a blind man. Another voice sounded, unclear whose, but it struck straight into his soul. Lucas, the truth is not the cave you seek. The truth lies within your own heart. You must choose. Stay here, where there is no more suffering, or return, to live and change. The light ahead suddenly blazed, opening a wide gate, shimmering like a star-filled sky. Beyond, his father and friends extended their arms to welcome him, faces gentle, filled with peace. But from behind him, Lucas heard a faint calling, not from the spirits, not from the light, but a human voice, echoing from afar, as if through thick water. Lucas, hold on, don't give up. That call trembled, urgent, like that of a rescuer out there. Lucas turned. Behind him, darkness reappeared. A faint glimmer pierced through the rock, weak but painfully real. That was life. He looked at his father, tears streaming. I want to stay with you. I'm so tired. I'm afraid returning will only mean loneliness again, getting lost again. His father hugged him, whispering in his ear, My son, return. You have not yet lived fully. You have not yet loved fully. Do not leave your mother alone. Do not abandon your life unfinished. Return, and find the true light. Lucas trembled, his heart shattered. He screamed in despair, then turned and lunged straight toward the darkness behind. The light at the gate dimmed, his father and friends fading. But in his heart, a fire was rekindled. The moment he turned away, the whole tunnel of light shook, then shattered into millions of star fragments scattering through space. Lucas fell, falling endlessly. Lucas's body jolted violently. A sharp pain tore through his chest, so intense he thought his heart had been ripped apart. No more light, no more warmth, only the heaviness of flesh returning. The echoes of the cave roared, blending with his ragged breaths. A shout rang out somewhere. He's still breathing! Hurry, hold on to him. Lucas opened his eyes, his eyelids heavy as stone. Flashlight beams flickered, blinding. Blurred faces surrounded him, the urgent voices of the rescue team pounding in his ears. One man gripped his arm, voice trembling. Lucas! Can you hear me? Don't give up. You're still here. He wanted to answer, but his throat was dry, releasing only a faint whisper. Tears welled at the corners of his eyes, unclear whether from pain or joy. In his mind, the image of his father and friends smiling dissolved, leaving behind a lingering warmth. His father's words still echoed. You have not yet lived fully. Return, Lucas sobbed, whispering as if to himself, I've come back, Father. In the days that followed, Lucas lay in the hospital. His body bandaged, exhausted, yet his heart burned with a strange brightness. He remembered every moment in the tunnel of light, every embrace, every word filled with love. One morning, when his mother entered the hospital room, her eyes blurred with tears, Lucas clasped her frail hand, his eyes shimmering. "Mom, I'm sorry for leaving you lonely for so long. I went so far I thought I'd never return. But now I'm here. I promise I'll live differently. I promise I'll love you deeply." His mother burst into tears, holding him tightly. "Lucas, I only needed you to come back. That you're alive is enough." As time passed, Lucas was no longer the man who blindly chased dark caves to satisfy an endless hunger for adventure. He still explored, but not to conquer, to connect. He wrote books, shared his story, spoke of his near-death moment, of the light, of the souls he had met. In conversations with others, he often paused, eyes distant yet radiant, before saying, "I've seen death. It isn't the end. It's a reminder that life is more precious than anything. We shouldn't live as fugitives, but as those who know how to love." Each time he spoke, his throat tightened, tears streamed down his face, and the room fell silent, broken only by scattered sobs. One night, Lucas stood atop a small mountain, the distant sky overflowing with stars. He closed his eyes, listening to the steady beat of his heart in his chest. He whispered, as if sending it into the wind, "Father, I still hear you. I'm living, truly living, and this time I won't let it slip away." A soft smile touched his lips. Beneath the vast sky, Lucas was no longer the man consumed by darkness. He had found the light, not in caves, not in death, but in his own heart that knew how to love. If it were you, standing at the line between light and darkness, would you stay or would you return? Share your thoughts in the comments, because every story has its own value. And don't forget to follow for more journeys that touch the heart like this one.